You are about to see mutilated corpses, burning tank carcasses, and all out mayhem, brought to you by Frontline Fatalities.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 68 of Frontline Fatalities, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, Tommy, and as always, FatalSaint. What's up, man?
What's up, Tommy? We're back with another 2v2 on TFN, this time between GreenTeaa and GreenTea. I guess they're clones of each other, against aSIIBravoMyLife and Mr. aSIIPwnShopIsOpen, both from the All-Stars clan. So I'm guessing these two GreenTeaa guys, you have a little bit of information about them, I think.
I vaguely know that they are Korean, and that's about all I know.
Yep.
But I'm
That's
sure
all you need
they're
to
going to
know.
be... yeah, exactly. I'm sure they're going to be showing off some stylish moves in this game today, so let's count in from the 5-second mark. I'm pausing in 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
And worth mentioning, it's a mixed axis against WS, so it's going to be interesting. And they're playing on Duclair, this great map from Uncle Sam. And I always enjoy seeing games from that. I still remember the Rome versus All-Star showdown thing where everything exploded. That thing is such a Hall of Fame game. It was amazing.
It was probably the best 2v2 of this patch.
Yeah, it's easily the best 2v2 I've ever seen, really. I've seen quite a lot of the older 2v2s, and they've been pretty epic, some of them. But that one was, they just took it a step further. A step too far, almost, with that massive Stag Armada and artillery and everything. That was so awesome.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. And hopefully we can recreate a bit of that epicness with today when we see this WS team take on the mixed axis. Always a tough matchup, I find. Even me, who is not particularly well-versed in the 2v2 style of play, I know that Panzer Elite can be a real pain in the ass for a WS team in 2v2s, with armored cars being so powerful against rifles and stuff like that.
Yeah. But it looks like the US team has actually not opted to go for the standard. I saw they talk about mixed WSC starts. So I guess, they've gone double racks, and then one will go for maybe, motor pool and then TD or something. Another guy will go for WSC and then maybe TD or something similar to that. We just had Schwimmwagen at the bottom right-hand side, pushing and resetting one of them. Pushing and resetting the points, as we saw Pepsi do to Seth in the 1v1. What's that? The Streamers Cup.
That's right, yeah, the Reddit Streamers
finals,
Cup.
I think,
because
or
little
semifinals.
cars can cap things and push people
And
out
push
the way.
stuff around.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the pushing. Jeeps can push, bikes can push, Schwimmwagens can push, Kettenkrans can push. That's fine. But the push reset thing kind of gets on my nerves a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
And often the best thing to do if you know that it's about to come is to just forget capping the point and to just go after the Ketten or the Shrimp yourself and just chase after it with your engineer or rifle.
Yeah, the grease gun from the engineers don't do that much damage to Kettens and Schwimmwagens, but you can do a little bit of it. And before the upgrade, the repair rate of the P-Grens, they're kind of slow. But in a 2v2, you can always get your teammates' Pyos to repair your Schwimms and Kettens, and it's really speedy then.
Well, exactly, and I think some of the best synergy actually comes from the mixed allied team, because of course the Brit has so many strengths but also so many fundamental weaknesses. It's probably the weakest faction against snipers, and but of course when you have a US player alongside you, then you don't need to worry about that so much. And likewise when it comes to repairing in the early game, obviously you have no real access to proper repair until you get sappers in the mid game.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And the US player can actually bring that repair to you, and you can constantly top up the brain carrier without having to spend any munitions. So you know, the mixed ally team is often regarded for those reasons as the single most powerful combination in 2v2.
It's very, very powerful when you can repair your Brent carriers that easy. As you said, otherwise they have to spend munitions on it. They have to spend resources to repair in another way, and then it becomes less powerful. But when you couple it up in a 2v2 where your allied teammate can just top everything off for you for free, basically. We did have a 2 P-Gran opening from the PE player with double infantry half-track build, which is interesting to see.
Double infantry half-tracks are
he's
always
not going
a lot
for
of
the
fun.
standard armored car thing. You know, he's not going 4 or 5 P-Grans into ACs instantly. He's stopping off with some infantry half-tracks in between there.
Yeah, they actually again are a really great example of the synergy in mixed axis, because you know you can get very, very early infield reinforcement, which is good for the PE player, but even more powerful for the Bear player with those MG42s. If you can keep the MG42 constantly on the field without ever having to retreat it, it's just that much more powerful, and it means that you don't have to go defensive for infield reinforcement.
Yeah, that was a massive mine in the center as the rifles got on the flank of one of the MGs before it flipped. He did a 2-pronged attack from the right and from the top. He came in at the same time, but that mine was nicely placed at the green cover from the hay bale there, from the little haystack, and that did a lot of damage. He almost lost the rifle in that engagement.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. aSIIBravoMyLife is taking a real beating on his rifles here. A lot of them have lost a lot of men while getting no real casualties. We do see Stickies have been
Surprise,
early
Sticky!
teched, but only a damaged engine, nothing to really follow up. The Jeep just doesn't pack enough of a punch with that 30 cal, and nothing really to come up and put in the killing blow to that half-track.
I'm getting Korean whispers on my screen. I don't know what's happening.
F,
all the signs. Backwards F.
Fuck you! I bet it means that. I bet it means fuck you.
I don't know. Oh, maybe they're getting trolled. Like they're streaming on some Korean site. You know, just like the trolls that troll the streamers on Twitch.
Dear.
Same thing, but in Korea. Everything.
God.
Is
Oh
that
no, the
racist?
Jeep is... wow, that's... Sometimes the
Surprisingly
MG42
sturdy.
just fires like really far, and it just looks like it shouldn't be able to fire that far.
Yeah, we do have bars upgraded for a pawn shop, and at the same time, what is... Apart from the stickies, has he teched anything else, aSIIBravoMyLife?
No, he's sticking with the 3 rifles. He's going for the quick tech, so he went for the stickies, the supply yard, and now he's building the motor pool. He's building it. He's actually getting his fuel timing very, very nice. There's no wasted fuel with him. After building that motor pool, he's on just 10 fuel, so actually the M8 is going to be coming basically as soon as possible given his sticky tech. So it should be quite an early M8 and should be quite a good counter to these infantry half-tracks, because of course you are trading off a bit of, you know, you're trading off the ability to get that super fast anti-tank half-track, which is just so powerful against the early M8 or Stuart.
Yeah, right now it looks like the allied players are basically stuck in their base while they're trying to exit. You know, aSIIBravoMyLife is trying to go out a little bit more center of the map, while Pawnshop is just trying to exit his base altogether, while all of these infantry half-track MGs and 2 MGs set up, plus the sniper popping away at all of the rifles. It looks like they're taking a hell of a manpower beating now, compared to the Axis, which aren't actually losing any men due to all of the P-Grants being in the half-tracks, and are basically invulnerable to small arms fire.
And even when they do take any losses, they've just got very, very easy and handy reinforcement right next to them. So, yeah, so far a very strong Axis early game. But that said, it's not that bad for the Allies either. Most sort of WS versus mixed Axis games do tend to spend the first few minutes in this kind of state of Allies basically, you know, really getting pummeled. And it's not as bad as it might actually look, because the Allies do have units like snipers and M8s that can really facilitate a big breakout in the mid-game.
Yeah, we do have tier 2 up for one of the Axis players, one of the 2 GreenTeaa clones, and we do have Panther Command, the Panther Support Command, which is the PE T4 building as well. So he's going to be able to have some form of a counter to that M8 when it rolls out. Is it on the field? Here it is.
Yep, here comes the M8 here, just upgrading skirts now.
Wow, it's taking a lot of damage on the rear armor from the 3 bar squads, and it's now getting chased by the M8. And he might actually be able to polish this up, because there's nothing to protect it.
taking a lot of damage here. It's almost certainly going to go down with a bit of focus fire. Now a Wehrmacht half-track here in the field as well, so it's a real half-track party. But one of the infantry half-tracks goes down. The Wehr half-track is a bit more sturdy than the Panther Elite one, but that too is quite vulnerable to the M8.
Yeah, the P infantry half-tracks are extremely vulnerable to even small arms fire, especially in the form of bars. They do great damage to vehicles with infantry half-track armor or P half-track armor. And the Schwinn goes down as well. I think one of the PE Schwimms also went down, so both the Wehrmacht and the PE Schwimm are down at the moment.
Oh no, and now this nice... Oh, he was going for a bit M8 block there, but the infantry half-track swerved out with a nice bit of retreat drive in there. But he's still probably going to get killed here.
You have a nice flamer flank on an MG on the bottom right or on the right-hand side of the map here, but he is forced to retreat due to the sniper and the Wehrmacht half-track being there. I do believe that Jeep actually hit a mine and got destroyed. So the Jeep is down, Schwimm from Wehrmacht player and the Schwimm from the PS players down. All of the light vehicles are dead, basically.
Oh no, look at this. The infantry, the AT half-track's chasing the M8, but actually that last-minute sticky is not going to be able to kill it, but it did actually buy that M8 the time it needed to get out of there. That was a very nicely timed sticky. If he hadn't gotten a sticky off, he would have lost the M8, and that would have been a much, much worse situation.
Well, US players are still stuck in their base at the moment. They need some more breakout units, I think. And I saw that Pawnshop has his WSC open. I'm not actually sure if it's built.
He has built a sniper. He is killing out along this negative cover road.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
The crucial thing, though, for the US players is that they've still got a good munitions income, good, healthy plus 27, and they've still got the very top medium fuel at the top. So actually, in terms of resources, the Axis don't really have much more, if any more, than the Allies do.
Just a little bit more, not that much, I think. I got a 37 munitions income and a 26 fuel income at the moment for the Axis side.
Yeah, so it's quite similar.
Yeah, it's very similar.
So if you took a look at Pawnshop's exit out of his base, I'm looking at this AT half-track getting chased down by a rifle squad. I think he had focus fire popped, but he was picking away at these rifles, and I believe that is focus fire. The rifles are desperate to get that sticky bomb off.
Yeah, we did have stickies from Pawnshop as well. He just threw it on the Wehrmacht half-track on the right-hand side and managed to immobilize it. But all of his troops are basically pinned due to one MG42 and the top gunners on the half-track itself. But he's going to be able to sticky it again, and it is very low health, so there is a possibility that half-track now actually going down. It does go down to one of the bot rifles. So they get a nice light vehicle kill there. They got 2 light vehicle kills now. I think they also killed one of the Schwimms. So they're going to be able to at least get vet 1 fairly soon if they get a few infantry kills. And they do have unvetted Grens to shoot at.
Especially unvetted Grens in the middle of a road.
Yeah, nice Gren grenade forces the retreat due to the rifles not being able to move around due to the suppression and the pinning effect from the MG42.
Now, where's that pack? Here's the pack. There's a bit of a minefield, though, so the M8's got to be really careful where he goes.
Nice first pack shot. Takes basically 50% health for that vet 1 M8. Second shot actually misfires out of range. No, that misses completely.
I think he's... Yeah, I don't know. But he manages to get out of there. It's really crucial that BravoMyLife keeps that M8 alive. And actually, that's another nice sticky on the AT half-track. This might be enough to kill it up here in the north.
Oh, so close. Wow, no critical.
Yeah, that was unlucky.
I say, chaps. I don't know why, but you know, lately on the replays we have casted a lot of stickies and things like that. They don't really produce any criticals anymore.
The GIs aren't wearing the right kind of socks, obviously. They need more wool content to those socks. That's what's really going to tip it over the edge.
It clogs the tracks of the half-tracks and the tanks. It's like wool everywhere.
Yeah, because I bet they're all using linen socks right now, or nylon socks. Yeah, because they don't clog the treads quite as well as a good woolen sock.
Yeah,
that's got to be the reason.
It's got to be the reason. Do we have any form of doctrine choice for BravoMyLife?
Not that is visible yet. I've not noticed him laying any mines with rifles or anything like that, and he's got 3 3/4 CPs floating.
Okay, we have 1.5 CPs for the PE player, so he's obviously chosen something. I'm not exactly sure what yet. We did have one MG going down on the right-hand side. At the same time, the VP in the north is one of the MP44 grenadiers goes down to the M8 and some rifles.
Yeah, that was a nasty loss there, and a PE Schwimmwagen gets sniped out by an AT gun here in the south. He was getting scouted by one of the Flamers, and now the other US player down here in the south, he's really beginning to expand out here. He's finally managed to get out of his base, but now what he has to worry about is this armored car and this minefield that is protecting the middle.
Yeah, PwnShop and BravoMyLife actually both have sticky, so he has some form of a soft counter to the Pumas and the half-tracks and everything, but nothing apart from that. All the other AT is basically in Bravo's hands, the M8 and AT gun. So, and he's basically all alone on the right-hand side now, PwnShop, against all of the Axis might.
And taking a lot of flak from these from that Axis sniper there from GreenTeaa. We do have the first use of Scorched Earth. Here it's a fire trap laid by Schwimmwagen in the middle, and a booby trap went off on a fuel point up here in the north, but it was dodged by aSIIBravoMyLife, taking just one casualty there, I think.
The mate was going over to the right-hand side, took a shot from the pack, damaged it quite a lot actually, but he's still going in there. It's very risky business. The pack is trying to relocate, but it's not quick enough. And the M8 most likely gonna get out of dodge. Here comes the armored car against the AT gun, which gets decrewed. Unlucky. Damage engine. Oh, an AT gun snipe. Nice.
He's actually going to be able to retake that AT gun. That's crucial there, because if those Pumas and armored car had been allowed to keep firing, he might have lost it.
This Axis sniper still
he's going to turn it, but he's going to lose. He's going to lose it unless there's a counter sniper around here, which there isn't. We have infantry doctrine, no, armor doctrine chosen by BravoMyLife, so that's why he's floating so much.
Yeah, PwnShop saying he shows infantry, so armor-infantry mix, which is always a good mix, I think, with WST. And as the PE player obviously has booby traps, he's gone Scorched Earth, and I'm not exactly sure what the Wehrmacht player has chosen so far. I've seen no evidence of things like prop war or anything like that.
No, it's a little early, I think, for prop war, but we will probably be seeing some kind of impact soon. So the Puma goes down, but the M8 goes out of control after hitting one of the mines there in the minefield. He was playing it
only a matter of time.
Yeah, exactly. So however, you know, he definitely got his money's worth out of that M8. It killed a lot of good units and really helped them to break out and actually put them in quite a dominant position now. Because look at all this field presence is just melting away from the Axis. We've had the loss of quite a few full units, and the Allies' unit preservation has been by and large quite good.
We do have Firestorm used on one of the AT guns that's got recrewed by PwnShop, gets instantly decrewed. The gun is still intact, however, and might actually live this Firestorm barrage, even though it's going on, still going on. That's a lot of rockets.
Oh dear, Stug is immobilized, the tracks are on the floor, and there's off-map artillery just to seal his fate. But the AT gun does it for him.
Well, the pack might get destroyed. The mine gets detonated, actually, on the second shot from the howitzer, so that's pretty good. There goes the pack as well, unrecruitable. The Allies basically now just need to maybe, well, especially if Bravo went armor, if he has something like field repair. The only AT out is light AT half-tracks from the PE player. And with field repairs, you can kind of negate that.
Yeah, exactly, and we do actually have, well, it's not the field repairs route he's gone down the Allied War Machine route, so he is going for the Calliopes, which I think is a good idea when he's facing this, you know, quite mixed force, but largely, you know, there's no big tanks on the field yet, nothing that's really very resilient to Calliope fire.
There's infantry, and, you know, there's MGs and stuff like that, and it's extraordinary against MGs and packs. And obviously the Wehrmacht player has gone tier 2, but also tier 3 now as he's pumping out Puma after Puma.
But no veterancy on these Grenadiers is making them a little bit weak to sustained bar fire. We might be seeing an Axis counter-snipe here. Here we go.
Oh, so close! So close! Why did you have to lay down first before taking the shot, Hans? You had that guy. You could totally have taken out Ghost.
We have the classic middle VP MG nest lockdown here from BravoMyLife.
Yeah, there it is.
After, I think it was, oh no, the Axis sniper got revealed by a rifleman who was dead on the floor and counter-sniped him. That's something you really got to watch out for. And booby traps here going off in the south. And wow, that Minesweeper squad combusted.
Yeah, we had a big trap up in the northern VP as well that almost took out an entire rifleman squad from BravoMyLife. It's only one guy that remains on that squad, and he's finally retreating him. I think he was busy microing elsewhere.
So we do have a fresh MA out from BravoMyLife. He's still not showing any signs of real progression in his tech. He's just kind of pumping out AT guns. He got himself his new M8, but he's now floating quite a lot. He could afford to really do anything at this point.
Because another M8 now actually from BravoMyLife, so I guess manpower-wise he can't really spend over 700 manpower to get like a Sherman out, combined the cost of his
I know
TV.
what he's doing actually. He's waiting for the Calliopes. He's just got his 3 CPs. There we go. Calliope's unlocked, and instantly he purchases it with his surplus of manpower. That's really going to put the hurt on the Axis, especially when they're all... Because this does tend to happen when the Allies get superiority, the Axis find themselves camping just outside their bases here, and they get quite clumped up, and it's really going to hurt if it hits a big blob of infantry or Pumas.
Yeah, they're trying to work together, but that's also going to work against you when artillery starts hitting the field in the form of Calliopes or on-map howitzers or something like that. So, you know, you gotta have teamwork, of course, but at the same time you gotta spread out a little bit at least, because it's just inevitable before the artillery starts raining down on you.
Here comes a Sherman into the south.
Nice.
I don't think there's really enough AT to take on that Sherman. Where is the AT? Is there any AT?
Light AT half-track on the left. There's a Schwim. I think I saw a Shrek before from the PE player. I'm pretty sure he had a Shrek. No, that was MP44s. There's basically no AT. The pack was destroyed, and after that nothing was rebuilt. We do have a Stug from the Sturm Armory from the aSIIBravoMyLife player. And that light AT half-track, but there's nothing else. Oh, but it does find a nice juicy target here with the M8 now immobilized from the AT half-track, and it can't really do anything about it. There's nothing over there to support it either.
I must say the Axis side's faith in the armored car is touching, or in fact the AT half-track, seeing as that is their only piece of AT.
I'm just looking at this AT half-track against the M8. They're just sitting there shooting at each other. Not really doing that much. It just
I
takes
think
so
the AT half-track is going to beat him out.
Yeah, he's going to win. Oh wow, he actually misses. That's unlucky.
Wow, AT half-track, you suck. Down here in the south, we've got a Puma rush here, but there's overlapping AT guns. He's really got every base covered with a sticky as well, but here comes a brand new Firestorm. It's on the AT gun, and it's on the rifles. That's a juicy target.
Oh, double sniper death as well. Not only the AT gun goes down, both snipers die on retreat to a precision firebomb into their faces.
That was most powerful from the Axis side there. That could be enough to turn the tables back into their favor after a bit of a rocky mid-game. He does manage to get the AT gun back despite it having next to no health, which should push that Stug back, but now the Axis really need to capitalize and send a load of infantry into the middle. Without the snipers there, they can really mitigate any kind of manpower bleed.
Yeah, and the PE player is basically just floating for Panthers right now, which is going to be a great counter to the TD from Pawn Shop. They need those Panthers now, really, really need it. And as long as they can get these juicy firestorms from the AT guns, you know, there's not really anything to counter the Panthers.
Oh, here comes the Calliope fire, and it's on the MG here. And it does retreat. Probably going to get out of there without a scratch, in fact. But the Calliope is such a powerful tool, not just to kill, but also just to send your opponent packing. Especially because in 2v2s, it's quite hard to keep up the same level of micro you have in the early game. You start blobbing your units more, and in the late game, it becomes very tempting to just... Wow, what the...
Why is he shooting there?
There was... on-map howitzer on his own Sherman.
Misclick. Must have been a misclick. He only fired 2 shells, I think.
Yeah. He cancelled it, I think, as soon as he realized, wait a second, we're the ones with the Shermans.
Hold on a second. What side was I on again? Oh, yeah, right. Now I remember.
When did the Germans start building Shermans? Oh, wait.
Lots of booby traps going off, and we also had one of the munitions point disabled in the north from this MP44 squad, and the 2 Panthers are on the field hanging around in the center, trying to take out that MG nest covering the middle VP.
While they were very successful in crushing that hedge, the Garden is going to be very, very annoyed.
Engineer goes down in the north to the MP44 Grenadiers. Pigrans also now trying to take out the medic coming over to pick up the engineer corpses.
Wow, after that mega firestorm, BravoMyLife has lost so much of his army now. He's down to a single engineer, 2 rifles, an M10 and a Calliope, and that's it.
Now there's 2 Panthers and 2 Stugs. One of the AT guns gets destroyed by a Puma. There's a lot of stuff now, all of a sudden, from the Axis team. But I guess while you're floating for your double Panther colony as PE, you can't really feel anything else. So you're gonna be left lacking for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, you do start to eventually... It becomes easier. Once you get the first Panther battle group out, after that, it tends to become a lot easier to get the rest of them out and, you know, to really start spamming them.
Yeah, as long as you keep them alive, you don't want to go, like, crazy with them.
You do need to keep them alive.
The
and, you know, of course, this is where a Burger Tiger becomes so useful. Because you can really do a lot of good with the Burger Tiger. And actually, I think we've actually had a scorched point up here in the north. You can see it's just been capped by a fraction by one of the Axis players, and then it's been scorched.
Yeah. Yeah, he decapped it, and then he disabled it instantly, and then he also booby-trapped it.
Just to make extra sure.
Yeah. Well, booby traps are free, so why not just spam them on every point you can?
Exactly. I bet the Sherman was feeling very full of himself when he was taking on a Stug and winning earlier, but now he's seen the Panther.
We do have an M10
story
as well now, so both allied players in tier 4 now are starting to produce tanks. But they need more than a single Sherman and an M10. That's not going to be enough.
They're going to need an M10 train of pretty huge proportions. I mean, there's no packs, which is one good thing, but there is the AT half-track.
Booby in the north takes out an engineer, a flamer NG actually, trying to cap that
Sticky
point
goes
as
in
well.
on the armored car and takes it down to 50% health with an instant immobilization. Oh, but look at that, the AT half-track got off a nice shot on the Sherman.
He's desperately trying to repair it, but there is a Panther right there, and I do believe that the Calliope was trying to polish off the armored car and maybe get some shots in on the Panther and the light AT attack in the same process.
He's actually getting a little bit worried about losing this Panther now with the M10 coming in at ultra close range.
The M10 seems to be... Yeah,
oh,
there's
nice use of Allied War Machine just as it comes in.
Oh, long-range shot takes out one of the Schwimmwagons from the PE player. And we do have artillery raining down on the Stug and Pumas in the center, while another booby trap in the north goes up, almost killing some rifles. Second booby trap. They fix the point and instantly die from the booby trap after repairing it.
Oh, that's demoralizing.
He got the point back, or he got the point repaired, but he was never able to cap it due to dying to a booby trap. You really gotta pay attention. That thing where they disable or scorch the point and then booby trap it, because it takes so long to repair, you stop looking at the guys repairing. You don't really pay attention to them. And after they repair, you've queued up the capture command, or if you just go there really quickly, right click, go somewhere else, booby trap goes off instantly, and before you have time to get back there, it goes off in their faces.
We've got a couple of rifles down here in the south trying to take on a couple of Pumas. That's never going to work out too well for them, and they do retreat. I'm interested by this kind of general lack of veterancy from the Axis player. Normally, I mean the Wehrmacht player, of course, because normally by this point you'd be seeing sort of Vet 2 or Vet 3 somethings, but he's going for a much more sort of Vet 1 across the board. He had support veterancy very early on. Yeah. He's got tank veterancy on his Stugs, but no vehicle veterancy yet. I think he's focusing more on getting units out.
Yeah, right now he's basically focusing on enlarging his army after losing, you know, Puma, Stug, and whatever to all of those AT guns. Wow, this Stug Armada is starting to look better and better for every minute that passes. He's got 3 now in the center.
Yeah, it's starting to look pretty tasty, and here come the Panthers, the big brothers of those Stugs.
Ooh, nice penetration from the M10 on the frontal armor of one of the Panthers. And now he's reversing into the AT gun field of fire, which is not a good idea. Here comes the Stugs now trying to help out as well, but they're also going to be forced back. due to the M10s and AT guns. They're
Wow,
trying to
all these
polish off
Stugs
some of the
firing at
tanks.
once looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they did look pretty cool before as well.
So we got some more AT guns coming out. BravoMyLife is playing the AT gun spammer for this game.
I think that Wehrmacht player would really benefit from getting tier 2 tanks. The top gunners against these sparred rifles with a sticky threat. That's going to be really good. But
Yeah, you're
I
not
guess
wrong
can't
there.
afford it.
The top gunners are immensely useful. And now we actually have an M10 go down to the light AT hard track. I don't know how that was possible, but it went down.
VP in the north is actually scorched, and I'm not exactly sure what the allied team can do to get back from this. They did get a lot of kills in the early mid-game after, you know, the M8 coming out and everything. But right now it's looking very desperate.
We've got a lot of M10 squishing, M10 sniping up here in the north. One of the PGs does retreat away. That rival squad up in the north is trying to repair that VP, but he's so low, if one booby goes off and catches that whole squad, it's going to be instant death.
The Panther actually killed the crew.
Wow.
Or
They're
the
taking a
member
lot
of
of,
the crew.
a
Every
lot of
time.
sniping damage. Whoa, we got a big caliber rifle down here on these Vet 1 Pumas. He's going to be glad he bought that Vet 1 now, otherwise he could have... Oh, maybe I spoke too soon because he got sniped by an AT gun.
VP is finally whited in the center, and the allies are already down to less than 150. 147 VPs already.
It's
It's gone very quick. No, it's because of the northern VP has been harassed so good by the Wehrmacht team,
as
or
well,
the Axis team. Yeah, and then
repeatedly.
scorched. Yeah, so they can't regain it.
Here comes
But here
the
comes the
double
push.
Shermans. Where are the Panthers? The Panthers are nowhere to be seen.
The one's hanging around on the far left-hand side getting repaired.
Oh, we just had the upgun. The big dick upgrade is here.
Great. Another booby trap goes off. Yeah, after repairing the VP, the booby trap goes off instantly, but this time BravoMyLife is on top of his micro, moves him away, and just starts capping on the other side.
Oh god, I can see this this Panther coming up towards this damaged N10. I'm just hearing the Jaws music in the background. Oh, he stopped. I guess he didn't want to go too far into enemy territory.
They know that there are AT guns about, but we actually have the Hummel unlocked now from the PE player, so he's going to be able to have a pretty good counter to the stationary weapons from the allies, mainly AT guns.
Got some bird rifles chasing a Puma down here in the south. Always a comical sight to see the mouse chasing the cat.
I ain't afraid of you. Shoot me.
Hopefully that's one thing that won't happen so much in CO2 is, you know, if they can get rid of such potent anti-tank abilities on infantry, I think it would do a world of good to not have to be running away from Bren Button Tommies or sticky bomb
Sticky rifles.
Because it just strikes me as a little bit silly. Where is this artillery going down? No.
It's going on a north on a 4-man MP44 squad from the PA.
Very rapidly, we've had Vet 2 and Vet 3 tanks come in the last couple of minutes.
I saw Vet 2. Now he's got Vet 3 as well. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
the big old skirts are in here. But it's going
Slug
to be
armies.
a bad time for the Axis to make a push just after the veterancy rolls in, especially with the Panther still backing them up.
Yeah, he's
Low
only
health,
got
though.
one Panther remaining actually, because one of them has gone down. I actually completely missed that. Maybe you caught that, Tommy. I'm not sure. But yeah, he's only got one, so he's floating for another battle group, another Panther battle group.
Well, Panther's
I
never
guess
a bad
one's
thing.
just not enough.
Especially when you're fighting an armor player, because it really does negate largely the power of AWM. I mean, BravoMyLife, he's floating an absolute crap ton of munitions. He's got 400 munitions in the bank. That's enough for field repairs and an allied war machine at the same time. But you know, again, neither of those abilities are that useful against PE Panthers because they just do A, so much damage, and then of course they're getting veterancy from the kills as well.
Yeah, you're just feeding the Panthers veterancy with AWM, which is not a good idea. Field repairs are more potent against a PE player, especially with the thread break from the AT half track. You can just, you know, if they do it on a mint-condition tank, you just pop field repairs, it repairs the threads instantly, and then you just go after him, and he can't damage you quickly enough. Not as fast as the field repairs will repair your tanks anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
It's always good.
Double Shermans of Doom are doing the work on these MP44s, Grents.
One of the Stug goes down to an AT gun, I believe. Yeah, it's got one. No? I wonder what killed it, actually.
I think it went down to artillery.
Artillery, yeah, but I don't think the first... I think it got destroyed before the first shell landed, but I could be mistaken.
You know what one of the really strange or good or bad, however you want to see it, things is about Scorched Earth is that when the point actually gets scorched, it leaves green cover around the point.
Yeah, the little crater that's very close to the point itself, it's green cover. It's always interesting.
And whenever I play as US against PE and 1v1s, I always think, this is so nice of you, PE player. Now I can park my Vet2 rifles in beautiful green cover while still capping the point.
Look at this. The Panther is actually attack
grounding away from that M10, which he really ought to be reversing out of there.
Yeah, he's trying to back out now.
Oh, very nice. He forces the Panther to move, which means that he can't help but shoot it. That was nice. But of course it is
AWM,
one
or
bit.
did it run out?
No, he got it back from AWM. But
lucky.
that Panther is getting so close to death. I think the Shermans are going to actually give chase.
But yeah, as we said before, the problem with AWM now is that the Panther got its first stripe of veterancy from killing that M10 actually. So you know, even though it was very close to dying, and the allied player got his tank back, he also gave one stripe of veterancy for the Panther. And giving defensive veterancy to your Panthers is really, really good. After a while, they become so tough to kill, so durable.
Yeah, I mean, Panthers on their own, their only real weakness is their lack of survivability, really. I mean, they have some of the best armor in the game, but they have very low hit points. So against AP round AT guns, they're quite vulnerable. But once you start stacking up those defensive veterancy, because you don't need offensive veterancy on a Panther, it already kills all allied armor without any problems. They just become so crazy powerful. They get they get faster and they get tougher and they have more health.
The only thing that's even remotely gonna bounce a Panther shot might be the Pershing. Now and then it bounces a Panther shot.
Yeah, the Pershing is the only tank that can take it on.
But otherwise, Sherman, basically 90% of the time it's going to penetrate it. M10s every time, every single shot. I don't think I've ever seen it bounce unless it was like some dodgy bug that happened.
Although it's weird though, because we never see Panthers bounce on M10s, but we do occasionally see like 88s bounce on M10s.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Which looks really
but
weird.
I've seen 88s bounce on hedges, so leaves and branches are enough to deflect an 88mm shell.
Hedges are made of fucking Kevlar in this game. I mean, you see all kinds of stuff get bounced on hedges. You see like KT shells bounce on hedges, 105 shells get bounced on hedges, and it's like, Jesus Christ, what do they coat the leaves with?
I don't know. They've obviously like
the same stuff that coats the KCH, obviously. It's gasoline. Is this a double Calliope? I think it was a double Calliope.
The Hummel actually goes down to the Calliope from what I think was full health.
I think it was full health, yeah, you're right. Was and it a bit of 105. I think it was a bit of 105 just to top it off. Yeah, that was double Callies.
But the 105 is there to destroy the carcass, so they can't Birch Tiger it back to life.
They can't resuscitate it for resources either.
Rub it into the ground. These three upgun Shermans,
they're out for blood with this Stug.
They're really chasing this poor Stug now, and at the same time the M10 Armada in the center is going after the second Hummel from the PE player, and there's basically nothing around there at all apart from the light AT half track, and that's not going to be enough against 3 M10s, which has now found a lot of juicy targets to shoot at here outside of the Wehrmacht and the PE player's base.
Meanwhile, the Shermans down in the south are forced away by this very tough defensive veterancy Panther, which is probably going to have to go back and help out his buddy getting great near the base by these triple M10s of Doom with field repairs now.
Yeah, there's the field repair against one of the M10s were actually thread broken by the AT hat track. Field repairs and it's back up and running again.
Oh, very nice stuff. But one of these M10s is going to go down here, surely.
This Panther is going to go down, I think.
Oh, very nice. We have a Sherman flank on the Stug that was coming in to support as well. One of the M10s should be able to get out of there with his life. He was lucky to get a main gun destroyed crit there. The other Vet 1 Panther is so close to death, but it is getting chased and it must go down surely here. But we do have another Panther. It's an Axis Panther this time. It's a Wehrmacht Panther coming in, Vet 3, to support these M10s.
We have 2 PE Panthers also just fielded from the PE player. So there's going to be a lot of Panthers on the field, but there goes the first PE Panther down, or the second one actually, from the first battle group. That is completely dead now. But the second battle group is out from the PE player now with 2 new Panthers, so they're going to be easily to counter this Sherman and M10.
Oh no, wow. Both Shermans who were mobilized and they're both getting taken out.
Lots of armor now from all players in this game, and basically everything's just dying.
Dying 2 Panthers. I mean, but we have the double Callies. They're moving up. They're rolling up to try and get off some hits here. And then we're going to be having another double Callie barrage in good time. But not before a rifle gets annihilated. Well, we actually we still have 3 M10s from BravoMyLife. 2 of them are in pretty bad shape, but one of them is full health.
The best thing right now is that the Panthers, you know, they do snipe an AT gun crew member now.
Wow, look at that damage!
It's double Cliveys though.
That Panther was practically full health before he started getting hit, and now it's down to... Is that a V1?
No, I don't think so.
I thought I heard a V1 at first.
I can't hear it. I haven't actually seen anything from the Wehrmacht player. I'm kind of interested in what he shows.
Well, we've seen Firestorms. We've seen
Firestorm. Yeah, he is terror. That's true.
And I guess if he went down a territory, then he must have like switched back to the other side, and so he's got prop war. That's why we haven't seen anything for so long. So he's waiting for the KT. Oh, it's another use of allied war machine here, but this time it's okay to use because he's going up against the Wehrmacht Panther. So it doesn't matter if he loses any units, and actually this could work out very well for him. This Vet 3 Panther taking a lot of damage now. Gunner down. He just needs 1 or 2 more good penetrations here, and this Panther is going to be toast. And down it goes. Here comes a PE Panther though to mop up. The allied war machine is going to run out in a couple of seconds here. Very nice use of attack ground. And there it goes.
Now he needs to pursue them, but he's not actually. He's attack grounding again because he doesn't want to accidentally kill him with the allied war machine on, but now he's going to go after him.
And wow, one does go down, out of control. We have another Firestorm coming in, I think. No, it's a Sector Arty. It's a Sector Arty
in the center on the against the AT gun, I think.
But I think he actually managed to get out of there about okay. It's quite a small sector, that one, so... Oh, no, now this Panther's taking quite a lot of damage as well. He's about 1, doesn't want to lose it.
The AT guns are extremely strong now for the allied team fighting the Panthers. They're not that reliable against the AT guns themselves, and both the Hummels got taken out before, so, you know, they're kind of okay with the AT guns now. The AT guns are a good choice, I think.
Oh, here comes a cheeky Sherman rolling along. He knows where the Panther is now. His teammate scouted it out for him.
It's very, very damaged, but it's still a Panther, even with the 76 upgrade. Oh, bounces the first shot.
It's going to be painful, but he should be able to take it down at least. Or maybe not
the second
with 2
Panther's here, however.
Oh no, maybe this isn't going to work out with a happy ending.
I don't think it is. Oh, one more shot, being destroyed. He's not going to be able to take it out.
Wow, that is
tough
as nails Panther. Here comes the Puma now rolling in. He found an opening. There's no AT guns covering. And look at this Hummel shell coming in now into the Firestorm as well. All the infantry
Panther goes down to the Calliope, and the Sherman goes down to the second Panther.
The Firestorm was actually... Well, the Firestorm missed most of the big targets there because of a mass retreat. Yeah, there was a huge retreat. It could have been the biggest money shot we've seen in a long time, but actually there was a big retreat. And the Puma clears up any survivors from that Firestorm there. Did one of those Panthers go down? Was the one that was really damaged?
Panther went down to Calliope, and the Sherman went down to the second Panther. So I guess it was a little bit of a trade-off there, but in the end, the vetted Panther died, and even if the Panther killing the Sherman got veterancy itself, it's still a Panther now. And you can't just buy a single Panther as PE. You gotta wait for the 2. And we do have the KT out now from the Wehrmacht player. So I think he probably went like quick Firestorm, and then he just switched to the other tree just to go down for the KT now.
Yeah, I mean, Terror's got so many fun toys to use. The problem is it just takes such a long time to unlock them. I know, in particular, if you watch some of Seth's 1v1s that he played recently in like SNF and tournaments and stuff, he's actually stopped going down all the way down the left for the KT, which is what most Terror players do. But because of the prevalence of everyone going for infantry and howitzers these days with loads of artillery, he gets Zeal and then goes all the way down the right-hand side tree for the V1. Which is just a very easy and very cost-efficient way of taking out a howitzer.
Yeah, you just run something by the allied base, scout out the howitzer, and V1 it. That's all it needs
Double Callies on the King Tiger. I'm just a little bit wary for this King Tiger's impact that he's going to have on this game because, you know, the Allies, they've been preparing for the last 20 minutes to take on Panther battle groups and Wehrmacht Panthers and Vet 3 tanks and, you know, real heavy stuff.
Oh,
my
I just
God.
caught a sector already on a rifle squad pursuing
Yeah, I
a
just
Puma,
watched that as well.
and it just disintegrated in the air. The whole rifleman squad just vanished from the face of the earth.
Enemy unit down.
I just caught that. That was so awesome. Painful, but awesome.
Triple allied snipers out. None of them really have very many kills, but there are triple allied snipers.
I haven't even
More
seen them.
Hummel firing on these AT guns. Oh, wow. One of those engineers that was repairing in the backfield. He thought he was safe. He thought he was away from the front line. You are never safe from the Hummel.
Yeah, nothing else really damaged from that Hummel strike. The AT guns moved away cautiously and very smartly. So, yeah, the Hummels have done so-so in this game. I think the first one of them had one vet stripe, I think. But apart from that, they haven't really got those money
the
shots.
very early Hummel that I think he was really banking on keeping that one alive. He placed it in such a forward location that it obviously got taken out by those Cowleys a few minutes ago. So
it was positioned way too
here
offensively.
comes some more artillery here. This time it's on the repairing Panther, and there's a couple of Grens nearby as well. That
Oh,
Pioneer
taken out
squad
on the
was
streets.
not having a fun day.
Slowly and steadily, the Allied teams are whittling down the VPs from the Axis. They're down to less than 280 now. The Allies has basically stopped it since they went down to 116.
We have off-map artillery being used up here in the north. I don't know if the P player realizes this could be really nasty. It's a Vet 2 squad with 27 infantry kills. He's got to be close to Vet 3. But he does actually retreat in the nick of time. But look at this M10 Armada shaping up. I think he was going to go north and just, like, squish it all to
Squish
death.
them all.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Grenadiers.
another Panther battle group.
Grenadiers trying to cap the munitions point on the far right-hand side, while a Flame Grenadiers goes to cap the point after chasing off the Grenadiers. They instantly explode due to a fire trap, I think. Or they got critted by something. I'm not sure what happened there. They went up in fiery glory. Oh, you need to
more
back up this
sector
Puma.
artillery. More sector artillery. He gets damage engine and a stakey.
Mortar hits the Puma, gives the damage engine, but they're not going to be able to pursue them. And oh, there's the sector artillery.
Sector
You need to
artillery is
retreat.
painful. I wouldn't risk it.
Off-map use of the Panther and Puma. Oh, takes the
Wow.
Puma out, combined with an AT gun. The AT gun almost took it out, and I think that the splash damage from the artillery strike took out the last bit of health on that Puma.
Wow, look at these allied snipers
M10s.
right next to the KT. He is practically on top of it.
M10 Zerg in the outside of the Wehrmacht bases, looking for repairing Panthers everywhere. They almost
Wow.
take one out.
He's having to reverse the KT back to deal with them. And the War Machine wears off, but not before he gets one of them back for free.
Oh, I think he
And
got
the other one goes down.
two back. He got two back.
And that's a Vet 2 Panther.
Uh,
Oh, here comes a double Cali. A little bit late, but better late than never. And it's a bit off target
I'm not
as
exactly sure
well.
what he was aiming for. Was the
I think he
KT
was.
there?
I think he was just firing from a bad location. If he had been firing at the same place from a better location, it would have hit a lot more. One of the Panthers goes down. I think that was an Axis Wehrmacht Panther.
Yeah, the AT guns are really winning the game from the Allies here. You know, their tanks have been doing good, and they've been doing these shark attacks on repairing Panthers and whatnot. But the AT guns are really the hero so far, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, they've been the ones that have been keeping damage consistent. It's the M10s that can go in for the kill, but we do actually have, we were talking about how great defensive veterancy is. We do actually have one defensive and one offensive veterancy for one of these Panzer Elite Panthers.
I find it slightly surprising. I'm not sure why, but I don't know how much it actually helped.
Maybe he wants it to be a little bit better at sniping AT guns or something. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Bit more accuracy is always good.
Oh, triple AT guns though. Even if they bounce, they do a little bit of damage to them. And when they do penetration shots, as we said, the HP on the Panthers aren't actually that much different from like a Sherman.
Oh no, it's Sherman is something like 636
or something like that?
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, 636.
636 maybe? I
And
can't
then
remember
the
exactly.
Panther
Oh,
is like
squish.
700.
Yeah, 700 something, yeah. Squishing on the double veterancy MP44 squad on the left-hand side, sends them packing.
We have an officer came out and laid down some. What is that? Wow, that's not something that we've seen in a little while. That was an officer barrage.
Officer barrage. Oh yeah, that barrage. The one
That barrage,
like
yeah.
a defensive barrage.
No, that barrage is actually really fucking good. It's just the officer is so useless that nobody ever gets it.
Oh, Panther gets actually gets taken out by the two M10s on the left-hand side that went in for the squish, and he came over there to defend the Pigrans that were forced to retreat due to the squishing risk. But it actually ends up dying to the two M10s, which are like consistently penetrating the frontal armors of these Panthers for some reason.
KT is really getting boxed in now. Rifles are coming in under the threat of stickies.
Both M10s down, but both are re-sent onto the front lines due to Allied War Machine.
And joining them is a Pershing now.
Wow, everything's dying outside of the Axis space. Panther went down to the double Calliope barrages, and the KT is worse for wear as well.
Yeah, the KT's got to have, I don't know, maybe about 500 hit points at this point, maybe a little bit more. It's not a great position to be in, but of course, you know, he does always have that epic armor to rely on.
It's got roughly, what is it, 2k or so when
He's
it's
got
full
2,000 exactly.
2,000 exactly.
In terms of health. But of course, it's still not actually the most survivable unit in the game. The most survivable unit in the game, when you take into account veterancy, would be the Panther, which at
it's so speedy.
Oh yeah, it's so speedy, and it has more health and better armor than the KT at vet 3 defensive.
Yeah.
But you very, very, very rarely see a vet 3 defensive Panther.
That's the humble money shot I've been waiting for the entire game. First shell takes out the crew of one AT gun. Second shell destroys the decrewed AT gun. Let's see if he gets lucky and destroys the first one.
Those are pretty close, aren't they?
Yeah,
we know
close.
how painful those can be.
Well, he decrewed it at least and damaged it down to 50% health and destroyed another one, so that's pretty good. The Pershing and the two M10s in the north are fighting off two Panthers, which I guess didn't fancy the odds over there.
I guess they didn't want to take on a Pershing. I don't know.
Nah, but it's backed by two M10s and AT guns creeping around all over the field.
That's true. More on-map artillery coming down around where this KT is, and it kills... Wow, what the hell happened to those guys?
I always find that extremely funny. When the shell bounces, there's still splash damage done to infantry around it. So the repair piles just disintegrate. It's just like, what just happened to you
It's
guys?
like they just entered like a reverse gravity zone or something, and just all their limbs were just pulled apart.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Whoa, we just had a lot of, I don't know, loads of tanks went down in the north.
Two M10s went down. No, I think it was a Panther and an M10 went down, actually. Only one Panther remains from the PE player now.
There could be some serious Goliath spammage if the Bear player harvested all these wrecks. That's a nice AWM.
2v2s are just one of those you don't have time to spend on salvaging. You need your pioneers repairing all the time.
One of
the
the
Panther actually goes down.
Panthers goes down, yep.
Vermark Panther now went
Here comes the Pershing, backed by Allied War Machine. He's got a taste for Panther.
Just once that Panther kill it, get rid of that and then just creep the damage engine KT with the AT guns. It's going to be curtains for the Axis team, I think.
That light ATR track is so desperate to break the engine on that Pershing.
It's vet 2, man. Such an awesome...
It is, it's
true.
true.
But no, now there's two AT guns after him. Wow. Lots of misses. He's getting lucky now. I don't find that the P half-track chassis or the P half-track armor is that resilient. And we just had, for some reason, both of
they
the...
had enough.
Drop. They got an aneurysm and just like, no, it's not worth it.
It was just a very, very tough ATG creep. With
the AT
lots
gun
of shark attack. I like that phrase that you got there, the shark attack M10s.
Yeah, it's like a... I don't know. Lots of shark coming at you. Just like, kill you!
Exactly.
They don't really do it. That was an awesome game. Great game.
Yeah. So thanks guys for watching. And we will be bringing out some more replays basically until Company of Heroes 2 comes out. We have some good Company of Heroes stuff for Code 2 stuff in the pipeline, so keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
See you guys.